After doing this for 40 years with some of the best in the business is turning over 30 million. One of the things I've found is there are 5 main things to consider when you're looking to grow your business as a manager. And what I'm going to do in this video is basically summarize everything I've learned. Makes it really easy for you to consider in terms of the coming year. You know, one of the things I've decided, maybe it's a New Year's resolution, that after doing this for some 40 years, I'm going to literally give everything that I know, every strategy, every script, every idea that I've ever had, I'm going to give it away over the coming year. So if you like any of my work, if you've ever listened to anything I've said, seen me at Eric, seen me in seminar, then subscribe to this channel, because this is where you're going to get all my stuff for free and you're going to get it first. So you're a selling manager. And one of the things that I know big time, it's actually a shit of a job. You have an incredible job. You're trying to list and sell your own houses. You're trying to build a team. You're trying to build property management by either acquisition or organically. Trying to look after yourself, trying to look after your family, trying to look after your health. It's a very big job description. So I've devised, from a coaching point of view, 5 different ways of looking at your business for you to become aware of which aspects of your business need attention. I'm going to go through those for you right now. So what we're looking at is growth. And the first thing you need to look at, and the first thing I always make sure with my clients that is working correctly, is the base. Get your base right and everything else can flow off it. Most people who come to me with issues and want coaching, it's because something in their base is not right. Now, let me just quickly tell you what that base is made up of, because it's made up of, first of all, we find out what your values are. I want to know what your personal values are so we can actually bring them to your office. And quite often I meet managers where they've actually decided that they want to keep their values for home and for their personal life separate to their business. This is a mistake, big mistake. It drains you of your energy. It is a very hard thing to do. Let me give you an example. In my office, I had 33 salespeople at one stage, very large office. We were a family. I was a family person. I had 4 kids, basically under 6. You were allowed to come to drinks on a Friday night if you brought your partner and your children. Now the kids all ran absolutely riot in the auction room, played soccer, did whatever they wanted to do. We were happy to see that. That was part of the values of my business. Now, if you keep that separate, then you're off pissing up, having parties, doing whatever. Then you have to go and switch to go back into your home. It's crazy. So what we're going to do is ascertain your values. We have systems for that. We have the world's best system of finding your values, and we're going to bring them to your office. The next thing we're going to do is figure out what culture do you want in your office, and this flows from your values. Then we're going to look at your shareholding. I want to know what the shareholding is. I want to know who the shareholders are, who the directors are, whether they're silent, whether they're working in the business. The reason I want to do this is because in Australia especially, it gets very messy for management around shareholders, and the next thing we want to look at, which is your job roles, including, and I'll challenge you with this right now, something you can do tomorrow if this fits for you, is who's the CEO. And quite often what I see is 3 friends in business, 3 salespeople decide to start their own business. And they go out on their own, and it just morphs into basically a shit show. Somebody decides they're better at paying bills and doing admin. Someone says, I just want to go and list and sell 2 million. Someone else says, I want to raise the sales team and grow the sales team. But no one's really running it. And we're going to change all that. So we're going to ascertain who the shareholders are, work out job roles, and who's doing what. I want to see your numbers. I want to see what's possible in your area. We do not run our business according to a P&L, according to financial data. We run our business according to the opportunity. So the next thing we're going to do is look at the opportunity that sits in front of you. I'm going to show you in my next video a quick way to work out what is the opportunity that you're sitting on. Take you about 3 minutes. I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to do the numbers. We're going to find out what the opportunity is. And the last thing as part of your base is we need, if you're working with me, you need financial reporting, and the financial reporting needs to be on the basis of separate reporting for sales and property management. If you've already got that, give yourself a big tick, and that's fine. And part of this whole reporting is, as part of the base, how profitable are you? This is the base that we're looking at, and once we've got that right, we can move on to stage 2. Stage 2 of these 5-part systems is your sales. And what I know is that if you're a selling manager, you're probably doing, and I bet for most of you that are listening or watching this, I won't be far wrong, you're doing around 500,000 or 600,000. Yeah, 500,000 to 600,000 in gross commission, your sales, your listings and sales. But what I also know is if it wasn't for the queue that forms outside your door from 8:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night, if it wasn't for people just coming through the door, even when you close it, you are capable personally of doing double that, which is 1.2 million. I've seen this so many times in so many offices with so many managers. You are capable of doing double. Now, what that essentially means is that if you're doing 600 now, you can do 1.2. There's 600 missing from your bottom line today, right here, right now. We're going to change all of that. So your sales is stage 2 of this. Stage 3 is building a team. And everybody is trying to do their sales so well that they just can't quite get to the team building. And what they end up with, let me see if I can pick most of you up that are listening, because you start with a manager plus 2 salespeople. Manager plus 2 salespeople is a shit of a role. I think it's an awful place to be. You're the main breadwinner. You're probably doing your 600,000 or 700,000. You got 2 other people. One is also doing another 500,000. They hold you to ransom. Every time you try to grow the business, they say, "Oh, we don't need more people here. If you get more people here, I'm leaving." It's an awful place to be. You're held to ransom by these people. And then the third person's probably doing, I don't know, 200,000, and the jury's out on them. And this is where you're stuck. And you are stuck, I promise you. There is no freedom, this part of the growth model. There's no freedom. You have to take every call. You have to list and sell. You're hustling all day. And you just can't get the time that you need to actually build a team. So what we're going to do is we're going to change all that, and I'll give you some actual how-tos to do that right here on this video in just a minute. The second part of this for me would be a manager plus 5 salespeople, getting better, but still not where you want to be. Manager plus 10, you start to transition from your sales into a coach and leader. You can go to manager plus 10. Then from there, you can actually go to a second office, and we have a system for you to ascertain whether you should open a second office. I can take you through that in terms of coaching or strategic leadership. And so you can do a second office, third office, and in some cases, I've watched people that I'm working with set up franchises. So I've seen it all. And if anything is in the back of your mind, I'm able to help you with all of this, to coach you through. So what happens is we get stuck between your sales and building a team. I said I'd give you 2 or 3 things to work on right now if you never listen to me again. The first one is what needs to happen is you need to fix your time management. And I'm going to give you on my next video 2 or 3 concrete ways to give yourself 2 hours a day. So we're going to fix your time management. We're going to put a team around you, and I believe that you need 2 hires. You need to do them consciously, so if you want us to talk you through that, we can help you with it. But the first one is you need an EA, an executive assistant. This executive assistant may do some things around your sales growth to that 1.2 million, but preferably not. They're the person that helps you run your business, keeps the base in place, the shareholders, job roles, the sales team, replacing admin people, and so on. And the second option you have got is to take on a sales manager. And in one of the subsequent videos that I'm going to do, I will do a deep dive into what the job role looks like for that actual sales manager. A big part of this for me is just a couple of questions, a couple of challenges to you as you're listening to this. Why do you want to sell? Why do you sell? And I've heard it all. I've heard that I love the thrill of the chase. Let me tell you that the best thrill of the chase that you can have is building a team. You're going to replace the big sale if that's what you consciously decide to do, you're going to replace that with getting the next best salesperson on board. Let me tell you, if you're listening to this, the people that I have had the absolute pleasure of working with, the wonderful Shane Smolin sold to McGrath for $62 million. They recruited their way to a fortune. They didn't list and sell their way to a fortune. So this is where I'm suggesting you can at least start to focus on, and we can help you get there. We can help you transition. So why are you selling? Do you want to continue to sell for your whole career? And the last one is, at some stage, if you could see it clearly, would you want to transition across to leader and coach? Because that's what is on offer here, is we go from getting the base must be right or you'll never get there. We get the base right, we get your sales right, we make the money, we create the time for you to start building a team. And when you get to M+10, as you'll see on that graph, when you start to get to that point, it will come up as a question for you, and I can take you through, show you the mechanics, the step-by-step way to go from salesperson to leader and coach. So before I go to number 4, the fourth strategy, if you like what I'm talking about here, if it's resonating with you in any way, any parts of this where you think, yeah, I should be getting into that, every week I put out a newsletter where I deep dive systems, strategies, checklists, the whole lot on how to put this into play for you. So if you like that idea and you want to connect with me, just push the link below and connect to that newsletter right now. All right, number 4, the fourth strategy is property management. You need to grow property management. I want to make this quite clear that 1,000 property managements is the new 300. It used to be if you had 300, you had a really nice business. Not anymore. It's 1,000 plus. You're in the market when you get to 1,000. I want to make this point to you that it needs to be passive. This needs to be a passive part of your business. Do not let it steal you away from doing that 1.2 million over on the right-hand side. That's not how to do this. It's not good. So this needs to be passive, which means you need a manager for your property management business, and we'll talk you through that. And then, of course, the big one is, are you growing organically or are you purchasing? Are you growing through acquisition? And I'm going to teach you how to always be shopping, always talking to your opposition, always be talking to everyone down the street about what it is they're doing, and keeping a lookout for you being able to purchase businesses. And I can tell you that the best acquisition you'll ever make is where you buy someone's 300 property managements and you get the director and a couple of salespeople come with them. As long as they're a cultural fit, which I can show you how to work out, as long as they fit your values, which again I can show you how to do, then we're going to go for it. We're going to grow property management. And number 5 on this is you. And what do I mean by you? You know that my belief system says better life, better business, better life. There is no point to all of this if you're just a workaholic. There's no point to all of this if you're not living your passion. I've heard it all before. I've heard that I need to understand why I'm here. I'll tell you why you're here. You're here because your mother had sex with your father. That's the reason you are here. Yeah? So get over all that stuff. However, what does that leave you with? It leaves you with the fact that you're here to enjoy the ride. Now, not in a stupid way of indulgence. You're here to enjoy every sunrise, every sunset that you get. And so you're also here to project whatever passion you want on your life. And I'm telling you that you are programmed in some way to be living the life you are now. But the passion is where the real enjoyment of this life is. The passion, if you live your passion, if you bring it out and you absolutely go for it. Oh, by the way, just a small hint, your passion is not the gym. Just to give you that one for free. The number of people in real estate that I ask, so what do you do apart from work, is I go to the gym. You are a lost soul if that's what you're doing. You go to the gym the same as you brush your teeth. It's just a way of looking after this body. Otherwise, you've got nowhere to live. That's why you go to the gym. Unless it is a passion and you're trying to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jane Fonda and knock yourself out. But 99.9% are not doing that. You're getting a dopamine hit from the gym and you think it's your passion. We've got to get beyond that. So what we're going to do is we're going to find your passion and we're going to help you live it. You know, I've just had a client join my coaching and everything's going pretty well. Base is good, sales are good, the team's building, property management's amazing, but the passion is missing. And when I said, what's the passion? I don't know. I don't have any passion. So there's some questions that I ask you. There's about 4 questions that I'll ask you on the next video in terms of finding out what that passion is. And when you find it and you take steps towards living in your passion, everything will change. I promise you. Your business will change, your family will change, you will change, happiness factor will change. It's amazing. So we're going to find your passion, and we're also going to look at your health. And I have a system that we put you through in terms of your health. I have a particular doctor that I want you to seek out and go to. We're going to get you whatever you need to be healthier. So here we have it. There's 5 parts to you growing your business. So one of the things you can do is have a look at these 5 things. And what I want you to do is to rate yourself out of 10. So we've got 10 on the base. How are you in terms of your sales? Are you at 50% of what you could be, or are you at 70%? You can decide. In terms of your growing your team, the team that you've always wanted to grow, out of 10 where you're at. Property management, I've said 1,000's the new 300. Where are you out of 10? And in terms of your health and your passion, where are you out of 10 with that? Now let me give you an example of how this works. Let's say you've got your base dead right. There it is there. That's great. Your sales are at 50%. We're going to go through to there. Your team building is nowhere near where it should be. You're at a 1 or a 2. Your property management's fine. You've already got 1,000. But you are at about 50%. Now, if you look at what you've just drawn, you can see the areas that need work, see the areas that you're short in. And for a lot of people, you know what you want to do, but you just can't get there. So if any of these are resonating with you, and any of these strategies are resonating, in my next 4 or 5 videos, I'm going to do a deep dive into each one of these strategies. So don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming, and I'll see you soon.